Hello, very lovely people. Welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I am Penge, and once again it's time for a load of rambling old nonsense. So welcome to July 2019's Inside the Geek Cupboard. And it's late, of course it's late. Or, I was thinking about this, should we now just accept that this is on time? I think as long as I get this thing out in the first 2 weeks of the month, in the first half of the month that it's supposed to be in, I think that's fine, because it does say July 2019's Inside the Geek Cupboard, and it is still July 2019. So I think that's fine. We just have to accept that it's always going to be late. I don't really know why I never get it done on time. It's just because I'm such a disorganised rabble. Just such a disorganised mess. So apologies for the lateness, but maybe now we should just say, you know what, as long as this video arrives in the first couple of weeks of the month, that is all lovely. So yeah, let's go for that, shall we? I think we should just run with that, because otherwise I'm going to have to apologise for this thing being late every single month, because it's never going to be on time. Anyway, right, let's move away from lateness. What's going on? July is busy. July is always a busy month for me. This is sort of away from the channel, just in general life stuff, and because it's both my kids' birthdays, and both my kids' birthdays are just over a week apart, which is brilliant. There we go. That was well timed, doesn't it? That's just how that sort of thing works. That wasn't intentional. So yeah, they're just over a week apart, which means that we have to do sort of consecutive birthdays, and that means it all gets very troublesome. So there's 2 weekends where we have to go and do lots of parties and things and running around after loud screaming children, all that kind of stuff. So it's quite tiring. So we're in the middle of that. As I record this, one party has been done and the other party is yet to happen. So yeah, midweek between the two. So that's always fun. So there we go. And of course, their birthdays aren't cheap. So they go, yeah, I've got no money left. And just to compound the woes, myself and Mrs. Penge have decided to redecorate the bedrooms. We've redecorated our bedroom. We've got new cupboards because the old ones are falling apart, and a new carpet and everything. Is all very exciting. So now I really do have no money. so gruel for me indeed. Yeah, it's been very busy. There's been an awful lot going on. There's been so much stuff happening in real life, but I've managed to keep the channel ticking over. Mrs. Penge has been very accommodating with me, allowing me to go up and record videos and things, as long as we get the important things done, birthday planning and holiday planning and all that kind of stuff. Then yeah, she has been marvellous, which has been very good. So the channel's been ticking over quite nicely. Looking back, we did get to 7,000 subscribers, which is marvellous. So that is very good. Hurrah. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you lot for being part of it. I'm aware that subs can be a bit of an empty value. It's a bit of a weird thing. So you could, in theory, I bet there's channels out there. A channel could have, I don't know, let's say it's got 100,000 subscribers. So there could be 100,000 people subscribed to a channel, yet they could put a video out and, I don't know, it might get 100 views. So, the amount of subscribers does not necessarily link to how popular a channel is in terms of what they're watching. So really, it's kind of views and watch time that are the really important values, but subs are used as a metric for how you gauge yourself against other channels, and it is important. It's nice to think that somebody has gone out their way to go, do you know what, yeah, I'm going to subscribe to this channel because I like this channel, I want to see more of this stuff. So it is quite a nice thing. But yeah, it can be a bit of a sort of a hollow value in a way, but it's just kind of what people look at when you go on YouTube. You look, and if you had a video of, I don't know, the same video, and there was somebody saying, hey, here's a tutorial on the thing, and they had 2 subs, and someone's got 25,000, you're probably going to sort of look at the 25,000 video first because they've got more subscribers. So there's slightly more sort of credibility behind it. Even though it might be absolute nonsense, the other video might be absolutely brilliant. But I think the mentality is, you go with mob rule, as it were, the one with the most sort of the most wins. So yeah, it's good to get to 7k. It's a nice milestone to get to. Really, the big one is 10k. I'd love to be at 10k before the end of the year now. I think it's possible. We might be able to do it. I'm not entirely sure. We could give it a good go. We'll give it a jolly good shot. If not, I won't be too disappointed. I still think 8k is a more reasonable goal. But I mean, now we're at 7 and it's halfway through the year. I think we'll get to 8, okay. So maybe we'll get to 9. I don't know. Whatever the case, it's lovely to be, seeing the channel growing. It's very, very lovely. Current series, what's going on? At the minute, we have RimWorld, we have YouTubers Life, and we have Overcrowd. They're all lovely. YouTubers Life is getting into that slightly, I think I said this last time, the sort of slightly predictable stage where I'm just sort of doing the same things over and over again to get now views and subscribers. There's nothing really new anymore. Not really got any sort of advancements to do. It's sort of, it's getting a bit formulaic now. And then, that's fine. That happens with that sort of game. It's okay. I'd like to get to the end, though. I just want to get to the end. I want to become the #1 YouTuber, which would be lovely. I think that'd be a good thing. That'd be a nice series to finish off, because I have had fun with it. And there was a little bit kind of midway through where it was a bit grindy. And then it sort of changed around again. And now it's gone into a little bit of a grindy phase again. But I think, that we'll continue that. That'll be good fun. And we've had fun with that. It's been good. I did try something a bit different. I tried Hitman 2. Because I thought, do you know what? The channel needs to mix things up a little bit. And a few people in the comments had indeed said in the past month or so, yeah, this is great. Another, I think it was on a Founder's Fortune video, possibly. Yeah, great. Yeah, we've got another one of these videos. That's great. Another base building thing. Maybe you could try and play something else. And I thought, do you know what? Actually, yes. And I've always wanted to play Hitman. And I never got round to it. So I thought, well, let's go with Hitman 2. That's a more modern iteration. And people have said, oh, look, they've put all the best bits of Hitman games into Hitman 2. So I thought, yeah, let's have a go with that. And it was a nice sort of change of game style, and it was fairly well received, which is quite nice, because I was a bit worried it'd get, it'd struggle to have any traction, because people had come to the Geek Cupboard expecting, sort of sim games and base building games and that kind of stuff, and go, Hitman? Nah, don't care, not interested. But no, it actually did quite well, which I was very, very pleased with. Right, I'm just going to have a bit of tea. Very important to have tea. Ah, marvellous. Yorkshire Gold, in case anyone was interested. Yorkshire Gold is today's tea of choice in a Geek Cupboard mug. Lovely. What else happened? Well, there were various things that stopped, various things that finished. Academia did indeed come to a close. And yeah, it was inevitable that we were just going to fill the space up and it was going to end. Although lots of people on the final video, in the penultimate one, were saying, oh, when this finishes, will you do a new series? And it's one of those things where you think, I could do a new series, but nothing new will be in it. It'll be exactly the same. We might as well just watch the series that I've just done, because I'll be building the same thing. There's no new mechanics in there. So I don't really know what people expect from that. I'm a little bit confused as to what people think is going to happen if we just make a series on the same game immediately after the other one. And it had something like 27 parts, whatever it was. So yeah, there was plenty. There was plenty of Academia. We will come back to Academia, because I think it is one of the big draws to the channel. And I think they're adding bits on. I think I saw they added smoking. Did they add smoking the other day? I think I saw on Twitter they've added some sort of mechanics, some new sort of interactions as well. So we'll come back to it, but it's going to be a long while. 6 months, maybe even a year, until we come back to Academia, to make it worthwhile, to make it different. Imperator Rome finished somewhat unexpectedly, which is a bit of a shame. They upgraded the game and it rendered all the old saves kind of dead. And that's because the changes were huge. They were sweeping, big, fundamental changes. And it was pointed out that I could go back and resurrect the game. I could roll my version back, because you can do that. Roll the version back to the version that's compatible with the save game we had and carry on. But then I kind of think it would be on a non-current version of the game, and people might come to the channel thinking, oh, Imperator Rome, brilliant, I wonder what's changed. And they'll be looking thinking, hang on a minute, he's playing the really old version, what an idiot. I think it got to a good point to leave it. We were doing okay. Anyway, it's not like we were struggling. If we're in the middle of a war or something, I might have gone, oh, right, let's bring it back and see if we can sort out the war. But I think where we were was okay. So we kind of finished it off on a high. We'd done quite well. We'd done extremely well, I think. So it was unfortunate. It was unfortunately timed. I would like to have finished it, or at least got sort of England and Wales under our control and created Britannia, was it? Which I've never heard of before, but created Britannia. That would have been nice. But you know what? It was not to be, and never mind. But I did enjoy it. I enjoyed Imperator Rome. It was a very interesting game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it gave me a good introduction to Paradox games and how they deal with things, particularly with wars and claims and war scores and all that kind of stuff. So it was a shame it went, but never mind. That's the way it was. Automashev also did finish. We didn't have a massive series of that because it hurt my brain way too much. Although I did do a Steam stream for them. I was invited by them to do a stream on Steam. That's it, a stream on Steam. For them, there were quite a few technical issues. Just as I was going to start my one, about 5 minutes before I was going to do my stream, the Steam store decided to throw a massive wobbly and it went all sorts of wrong. So I was able to broadcast, but it was not able to be linked to the sort of Atomachef stream bit just because Steam was broken. The Steam store went down. It was all sorts of carnage. Literally 5 minutes before I was about to start. Just brilliant. So we got there in the end, but I ran out of time. I couldn't finish the level I was on. I was trying to do level 10, and we were very nearly there. We very nearly completed it, but I couldn't do it in the time that we had, which was a shame. So I had to leave it, an unfinished, incomplete level, which was unfortunate, but never mind. And yeah, Atomachef, I did enjoy that, but it did hurt my brain. I'll probably play it again some more, but not whilst on camera, not whilst recording, because it takes a long time for me to process these things. And what else was there? Summer Islands came and went. That was enjoyable, if unpolished, I think. I like the idea of it. It needs a bit of work. It needs a bit of work because it's quite difficult to sort of navigate around all the sort of UI and all the stuff. And it was a bit fiddly with the roads as well. It'd be nice if the roads leveled the terrain out automatically rather than you having to do it. But it was good. It was an enjoyable thing. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see how that goes. I'm intrigued to see how Summer Island develops. But yeah, I did like the fact that you could get all those nice buildings and see how it worked and stuff. It just needed a little bit of TLC. And we started Founder's Fortune, which is okay. It's not my favourite game I've ever played, I should be completely honest. It's all right. It's a little bit formulaic. I feel it's a little bit sort of like RimWorld. A little bit, although we're not exactly assigning, because RimWorld, obviously, people do not have specific jobs. They go and do lots of stuff. Whereas in Founder's Fortune, we are saying you are a miner, you are a farmer, that kind of thing. It's okay. I think maybe we're just going to have a little look at it. A little look at Founder's Fortune. I don't expect it to sort of reach out to a full series. And then one-offs wise, we didn't have that many one-offs because we had quite a lot of other stuff. I mean, so on the channel in the past month, we've had RimWorld, YouTuber's Life, Overcrowd, Hitman, Academia, Imperata, Summer Islands, Atomachef, Founder's Fortune, that's quite a lot of stuff. So we didn't have that many one-offs. And we had Precipice, which was great. I enjoyed that. Even though I did destroy everybody in nuclear fire, I had fun playing that. That was a good game. And Her Majesty's Ship, which they have since tweaked, which is unfortunate. If I left it a day before I sort of recorded it, I would have had an easier experience on the midshipman level. But it was unfortunately timed the way I played it, when I played it. But that was enjoyable. It was very, very, very challenging. And yes, they've brought the level down now. They've brought the challenge level down for the midshipman, sort of the easy mode, if you like. But yeah, it would have been nice to be able to play it on the slightly easier mode, because it was quite hard to manage everything for a first time sort of play. It was quite hard to do all the events and make everything work. And we were not helped by the floaty boat bug. That did not help at all, because obviously we lost people that were men overboard. We couldn't access the boat. It was all a bit weird. But there we go. Yeah, I enjoyed Her Majesty's Ship. I might keep an eye on that as well. It might make a good stream video, possibly, just to get a bit anarchic, a bit chaotic, trying to read the chat and deal with that, and it might be quite fun. And one thing that is sort of out of the ordinary that I did last year and proved to be successful was the Steam Summer Sale video. It did very well indeed, which is lovely. Reactions are mixed, and that's because I think people don't quite understand the purpose of the video. I did it mostly for the people viewing this channel. So the subscribers of the Geek Cupboard, I've gone, hello everyone, it's me. You watch me because, you listen to me. You don't watch me, but you listen to me, and we've played games on the channel. So here's some games I like that are in the Steam sale that you might be interested in. Here's games that we've played on the channel, which is where a lot of the games come from. So there was various bits and bobs in there. There's lots of stuff we played. And then here's some other games that I just think are good deals at the end, so tacked on at the end. And then loads of people obviously commenting saying, oh, this is sim games. Oh, you've missed out this, you've missed out that. And it was like, well, yes, it is sim games, because that's what this channel kind of plays a lot of. It plays a lot of builder games. So yeah, they are going to be sim games in there. That's how it works. And loads of people say, you forgot this, you forgot that, what about this? But yeah, I can't put every single Steam sale offer in. I'll be there forever. There's hundreds and hundreds of them. One big one I did miss was Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, was it? That's been like a ludicrous 97% off. It was a stupid amount of games that you get for not very much money. But that's where people were sort of quite critical of it. However, on the flip side, lots of people said, yay, that's really useful. Thank you. I've picked up a few things from this. So that was quite nice. So yeah, that was a good thing to do. I like doing that video. I kind of hope it helps some people pick out some new games. It's good for the channel as well from a purely sort of selfish point of view. It's good. It brings in views. It doesn't necessarily bring in subscribers. I don't think people are going to subscribe for that sort of video. Next year, I might do it a little bit differently. I might break it into tiers. So say have cheaper games, mid-range games and expensive games that have then been bought down in the sale. I think I might do that. But yeah, that did very, very well. And I think, oh, good Lord, that sums up what we did looking back. There's quite a lot of stuff. Looking forward, it's going to be tricky looking forward for the next, month or two, because it's the school holidays. So the school holidays means things are busier. More stuff goes on in the days. Sometimes I will come home from work and record something quicker. So maybe a sort of RimWorld video or an Overcrowd video or something. I can come home from work and then record something and then go back to work, which is fine. It's not that far away. However, in school holidays, I obviously can't do that. So whereas I like to sort of get more videos out across the weekend, it might just be one a day. We might scrape one a day possibly. And also I'm on holiday as well. Looking forward, I'm on holiday in early August. Sort of the first week-ish. I'm away with family and it's going to be lovely. It's going to be a lovely fun time. We went to the same place last year. It was great. So we're going back again because the kids loved it. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that holiday. But looking ahead, that's going to make things tricky because I'm going to have to queue up a whole load of videos for that week when I'm away, which is not going to be straightforward. But there we go. Maybe I'll have to just record a sort of specific mini series or something for that week, as well as try and include all the other stuff that we're playing. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. In terms of game stuff, Overcrowd and YouTubers Life will finish in the next month. Overcrowd is pretty much done. I'd like to get Overcrowd done in the next part if possible. And then I don't think we're going to go on to the later stages of it. You get the idea with how it works. You see what happens. It does all the stuff. It's quite micromanagey still. I know they're trying to remove that. But I think we get the idea. I don't know if it's going to have any more sort of traction on it. I think everyone gets the picture. And YouTubers Life, we're in that grindy phase. That will finish. RimWorld will continue. Hitman 2 will continue for a few parts. I don't know if I'll do everything. I'm not entirely sure if I'll complete the entire sort of campaign mode or not. I don't know. We'll see what people think, but I do enjoy playing it. It's very, very good. I also want to bring a strategy game back because with Imperator done, I kind of feel like we need a strategy game. We've always had one lurking around, whether it's Civ. Civ's been around for a long time on the channel. So perhaps we'll finally at long last see the long-awaited Stellaris run. I need to tweak, go through a few things and just tweak the sort of the setup, if you like, of our whatever it's called, species, race. I don't know, people that we're playing as. But it's a Paradox game, so as we said earlier, I kind of know vaguely how these sorts of things work now in terms of some of their mechanics. So that could be good. Maybe Civ 6 might come back with a challenge run, although I need an exciting challenge run. I do not know, but a strategy game I think would be quite nice. And then other stuff that might come back. I would like to play the Guild 3, although I do need to sort of try and play it a little bit first because there's no tutorial. It just kind of, I think, just throws you in and goes, there you go, do some stuff. So I don't really want to be, spending, I don't know, an hour of the first video of just sort of wandering around trying to figure out what to do. So I might need to research that a bit. Also, something that might come back due to popular demand, very popular demand, is Prison Architect. I might bring it back. I want to create the loveliest prison because people keep saying, oh, can we have Prison Architect? You should play Prison Architect. Please play Prison Architect. But I've played it a little bit, so we might do like a sort of sandbox mode of that. That could be fun. And there's all sorts of one-offs and stuff that I want to try as well. I picked up all sorts of things in the Steam sale, little sort of things. So I might go and see if we can play some of those as well, if I can fit them in the time we have. And that's kind of what I've got looking forward right now. Because summer holidays are coming up and the school holidays and stuff, and I'm away, it's going to be a bit tricky to try and predict what's going on. I'm going to have to record stuff when I can, just when I can fit stuff in. So we'll see how we get on. We'll see how we get on. Now let's move on to questions, but not before I have some tea. Lovely tea. Oh, Yorkshire Gold. It's marvellous. So we've got a few, actually we've only got one question via the Patreon page, and then I've had two sent to me. Let's do the question on the Patreon page first. Let's mix it round for a bit. So it says, of the games you're currently playing, which one do you enjoy the most and why? That is a very good question. Do you know, I think it might be RimWorld currently. Now, I've not played Hitman 2 very much. I really enjoyed playing Hitman 2. When I did, it was really, really good. I enjoyed it a great deal. But I don't know. I've not played enough to kind of get a good picture of it. So I might, play the second mission and go, yeah, actually, I don't really like it. I don't expect I will. That was very, very good. YouTuber's Life is enjoyable. He does very well on the channel. It's not my favourite game in the world, I don't think. Overcrowd is great, but it can be, as we said earlier, a bit micromanagey. I think it needs to be slightly less micromanagey. It's a bit frustrating when you get one of your little staff to go and empty a bin. You go, you staff, go and empty that bin. And they empty the bin, and they run back and stand next to the same bin. It's about, well, no, use your initiative and go and check all the other bins. So it just seems a little bit sort of, they've got a litter picker, and there's litter in the station, but they're just standing there like pencils, just sort of going, hello, I'm just going to stand here. It's a bit, do I need to actually tell you to go and click the litter? So it'd be good if you could put routes in. So maybe a bit sort of academia-esque. You could have a route. So maybe if there's someone with a litter picker, you could say, right, just walk around this route and pick up litter and empty bins as you see fit, please. Carry on doing that. So yeah, it would be nice. But yeah, so Overcrowd is very enjoyable. But I think RimWorld, I really enjoy RimWorld. I don't know what I'm doing in RimWorld. I'm just making it up as I go along, being entirely guided by the comments section. But yeah, it's great. I love playing RimWorld. And yeah, it's because there's so much to it. And I just learn all these new exciting things. And then, at one point we were fighting away. And then a robot comes to try and kill us. And then we end up with a robot carcass, which is brilliant. I was like, oh, right, we've got robot parts then. Okay, marvellous. So we have to do something with those. And it's all very, very good. I like RimWorld an awful lot. And yeah, it's one of these games that I would love to sit and play it. Not whilst I'm recording. But I think when this run finishes, however it finishes, will we get wiped out by a massive sort of horde of raiders? Will be a giant death robot? I don't know. Whatever happens, when it finishes, I will then go and play it some more. But I don't want to play it now because I think that'll tarnish the series playthrough. Because, I'm learning things as I go along. I'm figuring stuff out. And it would be a bit disappointing if there was a big moment and I went, oh, yeah, actually, no, I've done this on my other playthrough. Yeah, you just click that button. I think that would kind of ruin it a little bit. So, yeah, I think definitely RimWorld is my favourite series that I'm playing right now. Okay, the first question that was sent via a message was, do your kids play video games? One of them does. One of them's too small to play video games. She does not play video games. She sort of watches the older one play on them. She watches the boy play on them and tries to join in. And we do, somewhat comically, if he is sat playing on, say, the Xbox or the Switch or something, we give her a controller for the Mega Drive, which isn't even plugged in. So I've got an old Mega Drive controller. I do have a Mega Drive. Of course I have a Mega Drive. So yeah, it just sort of, it sits there. It's not plugged in. And she sits in a chair next to her brother and plays, in air quotes, the game. And that keeps her happy, which is brilliant. I think maybe she's getting now to the age where she might cotton on that that's not actually working. But right now, she's very, very happy with it. Maybe we can't do that for too long. But yeah, so my son played games. He likes the general sort of kid stuff. He likes Lego Batman. That's a big hit. He likes Mario Kart. He does the time trials. He doesn't do the racing so much on that. He does the time trials. Minecraft. He likes Minecraft. He makes some amazing things in Minecraft. Oh, well done. Good job. Stuff that I think, oh, right, that's good. He made this sort of big dragony looking thing the other week, and I went and looked at him. Wow, that's really good. He went, no, but look, there's a secret. And he kind of went around the back, and there was a room in the dragon's head. It was brilliant. There was a room with a bed and a window, and the windows were like the dragon's eyes. It was very clever. I was like, wow, this is brilliant. So yeah, he plays stuff like that, and then my daughter sort of pretends to join in, but I don't think she doesn't really understand the concept of a game yet. I think she has possibly played Mario Kart, but she doesn't understand. She just holds the buttons down and then wiggles the wheel about. And the poor Mario Kart character just ends up spinning around in circles or going backwards or stopping or falling off bridges or whatever. But yeah, they do play games. Of course they do, because I play games as well. So they see me playing them and think, yay. And I obviously extol the virtues of games to them. And yeah, so I think she will grow up playing a few. And the next question is an interesting question. It's a very interesting question. What's the worst piece of advice you have ever been given? And I thought about this because I saw this question come in a little while ago, not long after I opened the questions thing up. And I thought, do you know what? That's a good question. I've been thinking about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you, I don't know if it's necessarily the worst piece of advice ever, but it's certainly not a great piece of advice. And then I'm going to give you the oddest sort of piece of advice that I've ever been given. So in terms of the worst piece of advice, is it the worst? I'm not entirely sure. But my granddad was he was a private man, I think it's fair to say. And his advice to me once, when I was younger, was that I shouldn't have friends. I should not have friends because friends just want to take my money off me and take my ideas off me and use me for their own selfish gains. And that was it. That was his advice. So yeah, don't have friends, read books, do all that stuff. Yeah, just don't have friends because they're terrible people. And that's not great advice, is it? Don't have friends. That's just ridiculous nonsense. I have many a friend, and indeed they have helped me through some really rubbishy, terrible times, and I've had some great times with them as well. Yeah, we have shared many fun things. Been on holidays with them, had gone around to the houses, and how would I cope without having the yearly? We have our sort of yearly Blood Bowl Geek Off competition. That's with my friends. And then, we see friends. We'll go out to the football. One of our friends is a big football fan, so we go to the football. And, we do all that kind of stuff. And when I'm talking football, I mean football, not soccer. Football, where you use your feet to kick the ball. I don't know. That's just a weird piece of advice. Don't have friends because they will take things off of you. And okay, fine. I might ignore that one, Grandad. But yeah, he was quite a private person and maybe something bad had happened to him. I do not know. Unfortunately, he's not around to ask anymore. But there you go. The oddest piece of advice I've ever been given is work related, which might be a bit dull. So I do programming stuff, and there is someone at work who is brilliant at what he does. He's miles better than me. He gets all the tough jobs. I get all the nice, easy stuff. I'm just like the support guy. I'm not the wingman. And we were talking about, in the world of programming, null values. So a null value is where there's not, it's really hard to describe. So, let's say you've got, I don't know, you've got a little mini database with somebody's forename, their surname, their middle name, and their date of birth. And then if they have no middle name, or if they've not provided it, that particular bit, if you imagine looking on a spreadsheet, will be blank. And in database land, certainly Oracle database land, which is what I deal with, that is null. And so we were trying to say, oh, hang on a minute, can you compare nulls? And so his advice was, you can't compare nulls because null is not equal to null. You can't look at one null value in one place and say, well, that's the same as a null value in another place. And his advice, his sentence, which will live with me forever, and indeed, we got it made onto a cup, onto a mug that he has. The advice was, no jam is not equal to no bananas. Yes, everybody, breathe that in for a second. So no jam. So the absence of jam is not the same as the absence of bananas because they're different absences. It's very hard to describe. I mean, if you do sort of programming stuff, you'll probably have a vague comprehension of that. But yeah, so the weirdest piece of advice, no jam is not equal to no bananas. And there we go. I thought that was worth sharing there. So pieces of advice. I think that's it for the questions. There weren't many on the Patreon page, which is fine because it makes these a bit shorter. So now I think we're going to go over to the video bit, which I'm well aware of what we're going to have this time round. I've actually planned it in advance. I've let you in a secret. Sometimes I just go, we're going to go to the video bit, and I don't know what I'm going to record. Then I just then I make it up as I go along, which is marvellous. So yes, what we'll do is we'll go to the video bit now. And this is a figurine of Zelda from Twilight Princess. And it's just a toy. It's just a man toy. This is a prime example of a man toy. It's a plastic figurine in a box. Now, it has been taken out the box. I got this for Christmas from two of my very good friends. They bought me this. I've got the Link one. Indeed, the Link one may well have featured, I think, in a previous Inside the Geek Cupboard. So, this is the Zelda sort of counterpart to that. And, we're going to open it up and have a look. It's an unboxing, but I'm not going to show you the unboxing because I'm not advanced enough to have anything to hold my phone yet. So I'm holding my phone in my hand, and for me to unbox it and try and put it together just with one hand might be quite tricky. Do you know what? Should we just try? Should we just see how much of a shambles this is? So right, here we go. So I like the fact that just this here, by the way, it comes from the Good Smile Company. That's quite nice. I like that. So let's have a look. Now, I only got open the once. It's only been opened once when I got it, and we were all quite excited to look at it like massive children. So we had a look at it and went, yay, that's good. So let's just pop this down. So look, there you go. Zelda, Twilight Princess Zelda. Twilight Princess, not my favourite Zelda game, I'll be completely honest. It's a good game, but it's not my favourite Zelda game. Oh, this is already really hard to do. Right, hang on. Let's just come back when I've at least taken the sort of plastic thing out of this box. Okay, so she is out of the box. The box sort of packaging is just there, and the big box is just there on the radiator, and there she is. Oh, hang on a minute, she's got some sort of plastic shenanigans on her. Hang on, let me remove this from you, madam. You're a princess. You should not have plastic wrapping. Oh, apart from I've just smashed your face in. Sorry, Your Majesty. There we go. So this is the figurine. This is Zelda, Princess Zelda, of course. And it's all sort of fully posable. I think maybe we might need to adjust her feet ever so slightly. Yes, indeed. She's standing sort of slightly high on her toes. That's why she keeps falling down. Hang on. So let's just fiddle about with that for a second. Right, that might mean that she can now stand up. Is she going to stand up? Yes, there we go. That's a little bit better. And yeah, it's really good. I like these figures. They make some good figurines, and they're imported from Japan. I believe they're imported directly from Japan. I mean, hence all the sort of the Japanese writing. You might expect that. You might expect that from, obviously, Legend of Zelda, Japanese and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it looks very, very good. She's got lots of stuff going on. It's very, my phone doesn't really show because I have to record stuff on my phone. It's very detailed. There's got a lot of detail going on. She's got a thing in her hair. It's all very cool. And then we've got some different sort of attachment-y bits. Now, I'm not really going to be able to put these on her very easily, but there is a sword. There's a sword. I can't remember what this is from the game. This is some sort of staff. I'm going to say it's a magic staff. A magic staff, a big old bow, which looks very good. I like that. And she has an alternative face. Now, what's different about this face to the other face? Right, what's going on here? So those holes are just obviously sort of locking points where her hair would go back on. She's got earring. I don't really know. She's got slightly different coloured eyes. Or is it just a spare face? It might just be a spare face in case her existing face falls off. I don't know. What's different about that? Hang on, she's got earrings on. Oh, that was a terrible bit of camera work. I covered it up. Yeah, I'm not a camera person. I think she's got slightly different. No, I think it's exactly the same. I think it's the same. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, so you can fully pose it and all that kind of stuff. So if we wanted to, although this is quite tricky to do, we could sort of have her lifting her arm up in the air with the sword and whatever. If I try and hang on. Right, there we go. I need to get a sort of a grippy arm thing for this camera, and then I'll be able to use both hands. That would certainly make these things a little bit easier to do because this is all a bit silly. Right, and then that hand. How does she hold something then? Because that hand does not look like a holding hand. That hand is closed. I wonder if there's a bag. There's a bag just there in the bottom of the box. I wonder if she's got alternative hands. Because otherwise, I don't know how she's going to hold things. Like the bow. I'm not entirely sure. Or does the stuff go in her other hand? No, hang on. Let me look through this box. Let me just see if sort of there's alternative arms and things as well. That would make things very complicated. There are indeed a number of alternative hands, which is crazy. So there's different hands. There's kind of hands which are obviously holding on to something, and then kind of outstretched hands as well, if you want to look dramatic. And then there's a base as well. There's a base which I think I will actually sort this out. I will actually sort of kit her out at some point. But I'll spend ages faffing about with it. I quite like the idea of that pose there, where she's got the hang on, that thing is an arrow. That's not a magic staff. That's an arrow, because that's that thing there, isn't it? That's that. Oh, hang on, it's that way round? Yeah, there you go, look. That's what that is. It's an arrow. Yes, okay, so right. I quite like the idea of that pose. So I might go down that route. But yeah, there you go. And then she will take pride of place in the Geek Cupboard. She will be on one of the shelves, and we'll have the base. We'll have the base all set up. We'll have to hide the sword away. But you do get lots of nice, you get like bags and things to put all the extra bits in so you don't lose anything. And so I could put them with links ones. But yeah, I quite like it. But then, it's a very geeky thing. But then that's what you expect, because it's the Geek Cupboard and it's full of this stuff. It's full of sort of I think it's I like it. Some people would agree. Some people would say it's pointless tat. But there you go. That is a thing that is in the Geek Cupboard. And we are going to put her on a shelf with Link. I mean, it would seem appropriate to have Link. Now, I wonder if next year they'll get Ganondorf, and then that would be the complete sort of trio, wouldn't it? That would be the trio. That would be the Triforce represented on all in all ways. But I just thought it was worth showing. It's a newish thing as well, and that's only the second time it's been out of the box. The first time was when I got it, and it was a Christmas present, but because, families and life and stuff, we only met up in, was it March possibly? So, it took March to actually get hold of the present for us all to meet up. So it was open in March, and then it's been opened now in July. And yeah, I like it. I think it looks very, very good. Yeah, I'm going to faff about with the hands and stuff and get her to do the dramatic sort of archery pose there, because that looks quite good. What else is on the back? What else is on the back here? Oh, there a link is indeed on the back. Look, yeah. So my phone's not doing very well with it. Phone's not doing very well with it at all. So I think I quite like that one. I quite like that because the bow looks dramatic because it's so huge. But then her standing there with the sword looks pretty badass, doesn't it? I don't know. I'll faff about and make her look awesome and amazing. And then she can go beside Link and they can defend the Geek Cupboard from evil and stuff. That's what will happen. But there we go. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was a fun thing for you to look at. Another man toy in the Geek Cupboard. And yes, it is Zelda, and it looks mighty impressive. And yes, I shall spend some time now setting it up and faffing about and mucking about with small plastic hands and all that kind of stuff, because why not? That's what geeks do. And I'm going to go and do that, shortly, after I finish doing all this other recording-y stuff. So yes, now let us leave here and let's go back to the main feature. I don't know how do I reintroduce the bit? I don't know. Let's go over to the end bit. Now, huzzah, there we go, seamless editing there, but in reality, all I've done is leave a gap between me saying, let's go to the video bit. There we go, the power of editing shall conceal this away, but yeah, interesting thing there, interesting man toy, as it would get called. So, there we go, that's it. That kind of completes July 2019's Inside the Geek Cupboard, this rambling load of old tut. But there we go. So I hope you did enjoy it. Thank you for your ongoing support and for being all round splendid folks. I know I say it every time, but you do help. It is a great help. And I am humbled and honoured that you have chosen to, put some Patreon money my way. It's very, very touching and I'm very, very thankful. So thank you very much. That's it, I think, though. So yeah, we are done. See you on the next one of these, which will be late but on time. You see what I've done there? Late but on time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but we'll run with it. So for now, thank you for joining me inside the Geek Cupboard, and I will see you next time.